I'm a fan of the star we are.
What's up, everybody? I'm Super Cowboy.
And I'm Princess Angie, and you are tuned in to The Star We Are.
Hi, this is Jane Slater, and you are listening to The Star We Are.
Plugged in and switched on. This is The Star We Are, live.
Boo.
Hey. Well, the intro made me smile, even though the Cowboys had it the past couple weeks while we've been gone. It was nice to hear that again.
Goosebumps.
Yeah, right into the heartbreak. That's all we have to talk about.
I love it.
I have a couple positive things. I just want to.
Well, I cannot wait to hear them because I have not had many of those in the last few weeks.
Well, we got something, and hopefully something to look forward to. So.
Well, let's get right into it.
Great to see you again, everybody.
Yeah, it's so good to be back.
Temporary back. One more temporary show like we had whenever we went down to kind of to catch up on what we missed in the past couple weeks.
Yes.
And it won't be fun.
No,
I mean, you'll have fun. I'll probably cry.
We'll always bring the fun. The fandom equals fundum, and so that's what it's all about. And that's what we're gonna bring. So if you're here with us this Tuesday, like Slim and Sammy says, happy Tuesday. Thank you for joining us. As you can tell, that's Slim and Sammy. This is my man Landry's Legend right here next to me. I am Jimmy J's here. And while we are not so happy with our football team, we are so happy to be with you guys. So we will get right into the show. We don't have a lineup, as Landry said. We're just going to kind of wing it. But this is the last wing it week, we will call that, because we are fully back in action thanks to all the support, thanks to some, some supporters who they requested not to be mentioned, which is fine. We won't bring it up, but we are back in action. As you guys know, our stuff went down, our studio collapsed, crash. We lost a lot. But we are back. We're ready to produce. And what I'm ready for right now is some news. And I hope it's some good ones. I hope it's some good news. But real quick, before Sammy gets into this news for us, we'll say what's up to Chuck, what's up to Falcon, what's up to Stephen Mack, everybody in here. Thank you guys for joining us. If you are, subscribe if you haven't already, share it. If you're in here with us, drop some more comments, hang out with us. We're fixing to get into some news from Miss Sammy.
Are you guys ready?
I think so.
Just prepare yourself, because it's not going to start out good, but it ends on a more positive note.
Well,
so
okay.
There's that. And I got a couple pages. So, boom. Woo! All right. So, first things first. I'm going to start out with the fact that we have a plethora of injuries going on, and they are not pretty. No injuries are good, but especially not good from some star players that, as a Cowboys nation, we heavily rely on. But so I was reading the news earlier, and Mike McCarthy had some words to say that I'm hoping will turn into something positive, but right now it's still, pretty questionable considering how performances have been.
What did Mike say?
So, if you guys haven't noticed, we have 19 first or second year players that we have played in the first 6 games. So we have a lot of fresh talent, but a lot of lessons to be learned.
Sure.
But he does trust that the development of new players will pay it forward. Starting with the O-line, I'm just going to read directly because I wrote a lot about this. He said, it's time to pay forward. During our absolutely horrendous, tragic, everybody heard about it, loss to the Lions. Dak got pressured 47.4% of his dropbacks. And that's
emphasis on the 0.4. That was what cooked us.
Every percent matters. 0.4. Anyway, so big clues to Guyton and BB. While BB has been.
Uh-oh.
We lost Sam there. Never lost her.
Maybe
before.
lost her. That's a first.
Oh.
There she goes.
Hear me?
You're good. You're back.
You're back now.
Yep.
Okay. Besides Guyton and BB, so he said that Overshone. I don't think there is a bad thing to say about Overshone besides the fact that he didn't get to join us last year. But for his first year, he is absolutely killing it. He is bringing sunshine to a devastating team right now when we really need it. So shout out to Overshone for being a bright and shiny star for us right now. Kalen Carson has seen more snaps due to injuries in the secondary. And the only word I can get for him is almost. He gets close, he tries, but he's just not there yet. And I'm hoping once he gets there, he's full out. You know, once that happens, I'm ready.
So hopefully I'm not foreshadowing here. Are we getting to some bland news and some updates on that? Because I've got to know. Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
I'll wait.
So I just want to say real quick regarding that, there are too many injuries for me to read about all of them, but I got some key
Fair
ones
enough.
in there that are good. Mozzie and Tyrus, while Mozzie has greatly improved in these last couple games from what he was, him and Tyrus Weed are still flashes of what could be. So hopefully we get that could be instead of just what if. Despite all the downhill news, so this is a positive. I guess I did have a positive in the middle here. Last year at this time, we were 4-2, so a little better, but and came out of our season. Well, came out of this little funk we're in after a bye week, winning 6 of the next 7 games. So, fingers crossed we can do that again. That caused us to finish 12-5. We got that little almost playoff. I'm going to say almost playoff.
6 of the next 7 coming up would mean to be the likes of the Texans, the Niners.
Hey, I'm trying to be positive here. Let me have.
I'm just listening to the news, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Right, dang. But so another thing that was very sad to watch is, and I just want to say Al Harris doesn't say him only, but talking to Al Harris about cornerbacks, missed tackles, he's not returning it to one individual who we're all thinking of, Diggs. I'm just going to say that because I have something to say to that in a minute. While he was a defensive back for 14 seasons in the league, you know, he knows what he's talking about when it comes to that. He is the perfect man for the job. We are 26th in the NFL, allowing for 216 yards on the ground in our 3 losses. He does say that while it is, you know, an 11-man sport, it requires all 11 people cornering Diggs specifically. You know, he needs to get out there. He needs to tackle. He needs to not be scared. I don't know if scared's the word, but scared's the word I'm using. I know Diggs is capable, so hopefully he gets back. Now, injuries. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, before you get to injury, usually those are business decisions, right? When corners don't tackle and stuff. But he's got his money, so not sure what to call it.
Oh, no. I wonder if it's like, you know, I hate to bring up Tony Pollard, but what if it's something like he's a little nervous coming back from an injury? You know, you have to work back into it. And I know he's been back, but I'm still wondering if he has a little bit of something going on mentally that he needs to work through. I'm hoping. Let me have this here. Okay, so I'm gonna start off. You asked about Bland, I'll give you Bland. Last Wednesday and Thursday, he was a full participant in practice. You know, full bang, full shebang, but he did not practice Friday. Why, you may ask?
That's spooky.
Halloween episode.
All right, I gotta turn on my phone flashlight because I can't read my news.
Just deliver. We can see you.
Okay, so why was he gone Friday? That added some emphasis to my thing. He is getting time to potentially return against the Niners. That will be a game to come back to. In my opinion, him coming back, hopefully getting even a pick, will be a huge morale boost. And hopefully only up from there on the defensive end. Another injury that we all watched that was very tragic, broke my heart, was Nealand. Well, everybody was assuming at first it was an ACL tear. Luckily, we avoided that, and he had a lateral meniscus tear. It was in his right knee, and he will miss 4 to 6 weeks. Now, he already had surgery on October 8th, so we're a week in, and he's already on the road to recovery. I've had a lateral meniscus tear, actually. I've had 2 meniscus tears. It's rough, but he definitely has potential to come back. He's an athlete. He knows what to work for. He knows what he's doing. He'll be back. Now, D-Law's injury, I don't have really any big news on it, and I don't know how to pronounce it. Lee Frank sprain?
Liz Frank.
Liz Frank. I didn't know if the S was pronounced or not. Thank you.
Yeah.
So he got very lucky. I'm sure everybody read this. No bones were displaced, but it'll probably take 4 to 6 weeks for a recovery. Or 4 to 8 weeks, sorry. Oops, sorry, that just worse. I'm so sorry. But he's already been out for a couple games. So, last but not least, I believe. Oh no, I have one more after Micah. Sorry. Micah Parsons. While figuring himself to be invincible, as what he said, he did miss his first NFL career game against the Steelers. Let me rephrase that. First NFL game to injury. There we go. Okay. He is doing everything he can to come back, but he wants to make sure he does it correctly, so there's no lingering problems. So while he's rushing to get back, he's also not rushing to get back, so he can make sure he does it right and he's able to stay in the game. Let's see, but Jerry Jones also said, so this is another positive for you guys. He was very close to return against the Lions. It was iffy, and probably for good reasons. No offense, Micah Parsons didn't play. I'm kind of glad he sat out that game because don't even want to talk about it. So we're hoping that after the bye week and a nice relaxing and all this working he's been doing, he'll be back. Last injury, and then I'm going to end on a little positive note here. Guyton. So this one's kind of iffy. It's not bad, but it's not good. It is kind of bad, but anyways. Guyton is still not 100% from his injury. But he was a full participant. As far as I'm aware, he will be ready for the Niners. I guess they're having problems with him practicing. So I don't know if he is choosing not to practice because of his injury or what is going on there. I didn't read specifics on it. But if he does not pick up, that keeps Tyler Smith at left tackle and the wonderful TJ Bass at left guard. They really prefer Smith at tackle to help with Cooper Beebe, but cutting slight slack. Not much at all. He still continues to practice and learn as what they say is one of the more difficult positions in the NFL to learn. And as someone who doesn't have much experience as a player altogether, I mean, I know he has experience, but it's a lot. So I'm hoping once it clicks, like I said before about Kalen, sorry. Last thing, so this is a positive. We all love him. Kavontae Turpin. It's Turpin time. He has 194 kickoff returns. That is the 6th most in franchise history, but most by any player since 2008. The one before him was Felix Jones with 247. But in 4 returns, he averages 48.5 yards, and that's a franchise record, in a game with a minimum of 3 returns. I did read that his longest return, I believe, was 79 yards, but then I feel like I don't know if that doesn't count his return touchdown we got. I don't know. Anyways, 79 yards is his longest, and for that little guy, I love it. Last but not least, this isn't news. This is something everybody knows. Without Butters, what would we do? We love Butters. Thank you, Butters, for scoring.
Well, we didn't have any points last week.
Yeah, none. So shout out to Butters for even the points he provided for us during that horrendous game last week. And that's what I got for you.
That is Sammy with the news, guys. And we might have to change that segment from Sammy Says It All to Sammy Slays It All. That was absolute epic work. I'll give you a round of applause. I know you're muted over there.
Surviving the blackout.
Yeah, I don't know what is going on over here. I got it back on, but
Just roll right on through like a
we're
pro.
bright now. Holy moly, gosh.
Good stuff. So we had some comments here while we were running over the news. We'll check those. We had some talking here. Some people really hate losing. Okay. Weeds is laughing about how much Chuck hates losing. I won't show those on the screen here. But yeah, talking about being unhappy with, guys on the sideline laughing, having a good time, Mike and D-Law telling jokes, and while we're over there getting our butts whooped.
Oh yeah, Michael, I didn't even point that out yesterday. So I had his leg kicked up on the sideline somewhere around the third quarter.
Yeah,
and it's not on him. It's those guys who are out there playing who are losing.
But I have a question too.
Okay.
Oh God, my ears look really red with this red hair. It's not the best, but don't we need something to kind of keep our morale up? I mean, I know maybe they shouldn't necessarily be joking, but positive reinforcement in any form is very necessary. I feel like right now,
I don't think that was positive reinforcement. I think that was them not being engaged in the game and talking about whatever's going on this way. I wasn't reading lips or looking at any of that stuff.
And I just have to stay truly old school to things like that and say what fixes everything, Landry? What fixes everything?
What fixes everything?
Winning.
Oh
no, it doesn't matter if you're having a morale problem.
There's a lot of things you have to do to win a game. So.
I know, but
guys, I know laughing ain't gonna cut it. I know that, but when we're down bad, I don't know. I guess I see it as something positive.
So we got 15 minutes or so. I think we'll just discuss the last 3 weeks. Thoughts that pop out. You can try to go week by week. I could give you, without an overlay, a star score for each of those weeks. Super quickly. What are the memories since the last time that we had a show? We had a show. We all went to the Ravens game. We got blown out. But
9 minutes and 45 seconds left. We ended with a 3-point loss thanks to Turpin and some amazing ending.
Yeah, and them, again, allowing us to have, a few too many points maybe, but part of the game plan. And we actually did have a show right after that, a short show after the computer went down. But at that game, I went pretty irate in the third quarter, saying that we won't win 5 games playing like this. Like we're not good at all. And the reason I was so irate is because I was shocked at that point. I didn't see a potential what looks like now an 8-8 season coming. We have a lot of problems. There's been a lot of talk all over. We've been listening on Twitter today to some spaces. I don't know if you heard the Jerry Jones comments on the radio show, but he had himself a pretty good meltdown.
Thank God he needs that. Just saying.
It's not going to help y'all. Like I said, the GM's not getting fired, so we're sitting here with. I'm scared, guys. It's not even just this season. I'm not even scared of going 8-8 this season because we can't stop the run. That I'm scared of. We're looking at this type of team from the mid 2000s where. We have this good player and that good player and this good player and that good player enough to sell some jerseys and some tickets. But the people, I have so many thoughts. The young coaching, they're right. All we do is rehire guys who are looking to get a second chance.
Yeah.
And I'll go ahead. There's been a lot of issues.
Give me a collective 3-week score for Ravens, Giants, Steelers, Lions.
Well, we did Ravens, Giants, Steelers,
Lions. There you go. Even though it's 2-1, it doesn't feel that way, does it?
No. I just want to say
a couple of them are really bad. 33.
That's tough.
I feel like you're 33 is
30.
That's crazy word. I mean,
like it's again, there's so many things that we missed, and I'm trying to blow through. We were better against the run against the Giants, who are going to end up ranking 31st or 32nd. With their running game. It's just everything feels false with this team.
News update from Weed in the chat. Jerry Jones just recently turned 82 and senile.
Recently, which one of those is
happy birthday?
Well, only one of those is true. He recently turned 82.
Right. And senile.
The senile part, I'm not, I won't comment too much further on. But these are from a long time ago. These are getting lonely over here.
They've how many? Well, the dust off.
Yeah.
40 years old, going on 40. Okay, so Sammy, do you have a score for these Cowboys for the last 3 weeks? Look, and I just got to say real quick while you're thinking about it. I think this might be the first time in NFL history, definitely in the Star Wars history, that a team got a 33 score going 2-1.
Went 2-1. Mm-hmm.
That's something.
Right. Man, I really agree with the 33.
They haven't done things good.
Well, and that's what I'm
other
saying,
teams haven't done things, very well. Because as soon as the team comes in and does anything well, they beat the brakes off of us.
I got you.
I think I'm gonna go a little higher. I think I'm gonna go with 36. Now it's not much. I think
It's a straight F. It's a big fat red F on the paper.
Right. And I just want to say the fact that the Giants game shouldn't have been that close. Should have been a lot better. Should have been a blowout. That's a team that we usually have no problems with. And the fact that we had so many problems with it, the fact that I even stressed during that game really disappointed me. The other game, the Steelers game, oh my gosh, I was so happy we won, but I am mad to the point it took us Jalen Tolbert right at that last second to get us that touchdown.
And that one had all the positives. The Jalen Tolbert coming out, the Rico Dowdle, right? Oh, if we just give it to Rico, we do have a running game, and then come back out the next week and this week and Zeke Ollie is the starting running back. There's so many confusing things, so much convoluted thinking.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I don't know.
I've never seen a game where, because you see games where a team has the chance to win it or give it away, right? Both teams had chances in the last drive. There was a penalty by us, almost lost it for us. Then it was their game to lose. They got a penalty. Then it was our game to lose, and we put it on the one. And we tried to lose it by fumbling it. And then we accidentally recovered the fumble. Then it was their game to lose because all you got to do is stop us on fourth down, and we won it. It was so back and forth just in like the last 6 plays of that game. It never felt like a Dallas Cowboys victory. It just felt like, oops, somebody won this game.
Another thing that Jimmy's brought up recently, these games that we lost, people, the last couple you want to talk about, and I would too, rightfully, about weren't just injured. We were double injured. We were injured into the depth chart. It's not even just about not having depth. You took our defensive linemen, and then to start the game with we just lost our 2 starting defensive ends. You lose Marshawn in that first play, and you lose depth. That you lose Kalen Carson, who was a bright spot at corner. So we had all these defensive injuries, but in reality, we were getting blown out by the Saints and the Ravens before that, when the only player missing was Deron Bland.
Right.
That's fact. So Falcon says if we have a losing season, end up at the top 5 pick, I'm okay with it, but I hope we trade back and get more capital. Yeah, I don't think we need a top 5 pick because we just paid a quarterback. You got a top receiver. And
on to that, I don't think we can have a losing season. As much as I'm going on and on, we do have more talent than at least half of the teams in the NFL. If I were to look at rosters, I would tell you we had more talent than half the teams in the NFL, but we may have some of the worst coaching and organizational everything.
I don't want to hear nothing about the Saints. Derek Carr's out. Y'all are on a downhill spiral.
Yeah,
don't even start with me.
yeah, exactly. A Saints team blew us out with Derek Carr, who 2 weeks later isn't even the starting quarterback.
That's what makes me feel horrible.
That's what I mean. At the time, I was talking about, oh, no, it's just that the Saints are one of the best teams in the NFC. No, it's just that we're well below average on defense. Sometimes, if everything goes correctly and we get up and we score a touchdown early, which doesn't happen because every team, at least at AT&T, it seems like everybody recently, whether they get the ball first or second, the other team scores first on their first drive. Yeah. They have some scripted game plan that just bop, 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 bop.
You ever lost the will a little bit going down the highway and you're like, oh, no, this way, no. And then you overcorrect it and you overcompensate. And then
overcorrecting. We do that every week.
So everybody wants to point to, well, look how we stopped the Giants run. There's something there. We held them to like 2 yards a carry, 1.8 a carry or something crazy. All that is a defense that needed to prove they could stop the run. Zimmer needing to get it done. And we did it against a team that is going to prove by the end of this year be one of the bottom 3 rushing teams in the New York Giants.
That's right, yeah.
And so it was an overcompensation. It looked like, well, damn, look how good we stopped the run.
And more things that I'm thinking. You win those 2 games. You do beat Pittsburgh, the brightest spot so far. Pittsburgh probably the only Well, I guess I gave us a decent score week 1, and boy, y'all were talking about my 83 being too high. That was a false ass 83. They should have gone
38.
No, it was a 73, but still, you win those 2 games. You do get what I was saying was a pretty gutty and was an important win against Pittsburgh when it happened. And then, you take some more injuries. I wouldn't have had you pick to beat the Lions anyway. And with all the injuries, you did have all the excuses in the world, but you still don't get to lose 47-9,
No,
64-12.
No, you never do that at home.
You can never do that.
I would have thrown
You
up.
can never. I threw up when I threw up at
Do you think a
halftime.
Mike Tomlin team has
Yeah.
ever lost 47-9 at home or something like that?
That's what I mean. Even with the B team on defense, not acceptable. So now again, and other things you were talking about teams on the schedule when we were picking earlier in the year when we were overestimating this team, but now you're looking ahead at you playing Washington twice and
Washington's scary.
now you look at like you could lose to the Giants.
You can.
If
If
things
you want to, you can do that.
No. Defense will look better when you get 6 starters back. We just played that game with literally less than half of the starting defense. No, we weren't going to win it. Yes, we needed to show it better. So it is still just an L. But some of the deficiencies we're back to the archaic play calling and route trees and so forth. These other teams are taking unknown 6th-round wide receivers and getting them wide open and these rub routes and these short passing and we just run these levels concepts, something short, something longer, and that
chaotic was a good word for it.
I know.
Archaic, is that what
archaic,
you said? Archaic. So I give them a 50, and usually, like I said, it's rare because I would be over that normally on a 2-1 stretch with 3 weeks. But like I said, we beat a bottom feeder in the Giants. I do not think they're good. They are not a good football team. I'm telling you right now. We beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have end zone deficiencies. They can't put the ball in the end zone, and we beat them, like Sam said, on a last Hail Mary play. It was like an oops, somebody won the game. It didn't feel like a Cowboys victory. It felt like we hung in the game with the Pittsburgh Steelers and Justin Fields. And I'm not happy with hanging in that game.
Another quarterback getting benched because we beat them. So apparently.
Okay, then I think that's stupid. I mean, I'm not even talking about this, but that's freaking dumb.
But you know what? Mike Tomlin will find a way to win 9 games this season because his team will not get blown out at home 47-9. They will show up prepared to play. And no matter who their quarterback is, they're going to be in games because their coach will have that team ready to be in every single game they play. We don't have that.
Right. Yeah, anyway. I was heartbroken when I heard that Mike Zimmer on the defensive plays versus the Lions said he was quick to panic. And I feel like as a defensive coordinator, you can't do that. Like, not until panicking is the only option you have. When I read that, I was like, no way. I heard somebody refer to something as a pickle juice game, and I feel like that dude should have drank a whole jar. Like, get your shit together. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't panic like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
So back to us having the roster. Like I said, we have the roster that's better than half the teams in the NFL. That goes to the run game. We ran the ball against a good run defense in the Pittsburgh. Now that's a true thing.
We did.
Right, we did that. I know for a fact that Tyron Smith and Cooper Beebe can double team somebody and they can run through an A gap and bust with it. What did I say?
Tyron.
You said Tyron, yeah.
All good players for us.
They were all very, very good. I think they're both.
The point is, I know for a fact that they can execute run blocks as good as the next person. Like I know they're not the worst run blockers and matter of fact, Tyler Smith's got to be one of the best ones. That has to be play calling, and again, maybe there's only so much you can do with the run play, but it's got to be when we're calling runs. I don't know how to say that we're predictable, but other teams sure make it look like we are.
Oh God!
Right, I'm not the one calling. I'm not actually, I don't have a breakdown of what we called, and then to be able to statistically break it down, but the eye test.
Well, I don't want to be too predictable, like you're saying our Cowboys are being, but I do want to remind everybody, like I'm going to every episode, to fan responsibly. No matter how bad these Cowboys treat you, no matter how angry you are at the Joneses, fan responsibly. Don't throw beers on ladies like the guy at the Raiders game.
Don't go beat people up for no reason. Getting charged with attempted murder.
That part right there. Charged with attempted murder. That's wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's not fanning responsibly, ladies and gentlemen. What is fanning responsibly, Jimmy? Well, it's liking, subscribing, and turning on your notifications. If you're in here with us right now, do those 3 things. It's the most valuable thing you can do for us, and it's absolutely free for you. And your time is not free. It is your most important thing. And if you've ever spent any of it with us, we cannot thank you enough. So fan responsibly. Keep it up. Keep going. Thank you for supporting the Star We Are.
Can I ask you
Might
guys
take our overlay
something?
away.
Yeah, please do.
Might take our overlay away.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Yeah.
So I heard Mr. So talking about Zeke being running back 1 last week. He complained and got running back 1. Was he worth getting back? Do you guys think he still has it, or do you think he's done for? Do you think we should have never gotten rid of Tony Pollard?
Well, the Tony Pollard thing has to do with too many things. I want, I would, because the money thing. Like, of course I wanted him. Of course, I think he's worth the money he got. I just don't know. Like I said, I feel like I'd have to have the books in my hand to determine whether he was worth that much money to us at that moment. It's not so much the Tony Pollard thing as it is we had every opportunity for running backs. There were multiple available in free agency. There were multiple available in the draft. We passed on every single one of them. We said we could get it done like this. And again, you've seen we did it 1 game. I don't know how to explain. Yeah, I don't know how to explain where to find the consistency there. If it isn't, but oh gosh, see, now you're gonna get me on a side note because I got 2 running backs that I've been seeing recently in college football. I told
Leave Jaden's son right now. Get out of this chat. Get out. He's a Commanders fan. He does not deserve to be in here.
No.
So I saw Ezekiel Elliott take a handoff against Detroit, get popped in the backfield and spin out of it, and had about 2 or 3 yards of clearance. But instead of turning around and looking forward and trying to continue to fight for yards, he decided to just backpedal as if he needed to just push for a yard or 2. It was 2nd and 9, and he backpedals for 2 yards into no one and falls down. No one there. That's not trying. That's not. So if he went and whined for those yards, he should be spanked like the whiner he is.
Yeah.
Because you want to say archaic? How do we run those power scheme runs with Rico Dowdle and look really good against, like Landry said, a Pittsburgh Steelers team? And we looked better once Tyler went out to left tackle and TJ Bass was at left guard. We ran the ball really good in the second half against Pittsburgh. It helped us stay in that game and be able to have the chance to win it. And then Rico gets 5 touches. Zeke gets to start the game, and I don't even see the same run scheme. That's archaic. That's like saying, "Oh, something works. Throw it out the window. What else will work? Let's find a new thing that'll work."
And I got off on what you asked there, Sam, but to bring it all the way back around, at this point, Zeke Elliott is a name that we know. Coach is always talking about a dime a dozen running backs. It's not only he's not even one of those, right? He's just one who used to be a pretty good player for us.
Used to be. I'm gonna remember you said
yeah,
that.
because honestly, he hasn't had. Maybe he's had one, seemingly explosive looking run this.
That was the first game, right? Was that the first game?
First or second game, it feels like.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. And no, the score wasn't 53-2.
Yes, it was
74-1.
It's all the same. I heard the same thing.
They're the same. They're the same thing.
You guys are giving a Commanders fan
Zeke not washed. He was brought for 2 reasons. Pass blocking. Yeah, but I'll give you that. I agree with why we brought him here.
No, he is watched as a running back in the NFL.
Yeah.
The starting running back carries against Detroit, and those belong to Rico. Those belong to somebody else because it wasn't it. He just doesn't have it in the tank anymore. I just don't believe.
Yeah, he's always been a good pass blocker, and that'll hold up longer than ever. Worst game of his career. I was gonna leave that one alone, but those are more things. Sam, what do you know about the truth behind Zach Martin's rapid decline?
It's a great point, Seaback.
So I did not get a lot on that. I'm sorry. Like I said, there was a lot of injuries, a lot of reports, a lot of updating.
Nick's told us
back injury
earlier in the year we mentioned something. I don't know where it was. I think when he was on the show, where he was like, I don't know if he'll. This probably just his last year.
Confidently said
this is last year. He's had slip ups like you don't usually see him have in the first couple of weeks, and then the point by who was it there about I mean he gave up 4 or 5 pressures just yesterday, when it seems like he's given up 4 or 5 in his entire career. So that's scary. It doesn't take anything away from he's going straight to the Hall of Fame, but I didn't expect to lose that. So those are the things about the long term, which again, this show's already kind of getting on more than we even expected about the long term concerns. I can go 8-8 this year. I'm worried about going 6 and 11 next year.
I just want to say one more thing. Nola, you're 2-4 because of injuries, but I'm pretty sure we have as much, if not more, injuries than you, as we already stated. So
well, we got as much as anybody.
Don't talk about Cowboys getting blown out.
We have as much as anybody, but no excuses. Like I said, you don't get to lose by 40. That's not.
No, I don't know. But I did hear that Zach Martin does have a back injury. I will read up on the extent of that and see how bad it is. But I do think they kind of forced him to play not 100% because of reliability.
Don't let me call him out, not knowing he's just a few years into his career and a little nicked. So
yeah,
I love it. Every time Colin comes on the show, he makes it a bright spot. Remember, it was his birthday last time he was hanging out with us. He says, "Fan responsibly for me is living with a grandma that doesn't like cussing." Well, you continue to fan responsibly, Kyle.
I've done it.
That's good.
I've done it.
I've in front of grandma.
Yeah, I've done it. I've had to watch a game in a place where like other people were sleeping. I was the only one up.
Yes, that
was me versus the Steelers game.
I did good.
It was late.
Oh, that's true. But that was late for everybody.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
See, I wear 20 for Tony, but I'm also at the point where I'm wearing 20 till we bring Dalvin Cook in to give him a chance.
We can go there, but someone had that comment earlier, but Dalvin Cook's going to change the run game.
I mean, maybe not change, but maybe he can give a little bit of positivity to it. Why did we sign him if we don't think he has anything left in the tank?
Not giving him a carry is a thought, right?
I think most people are just at the point that they know exactly what Zeke is giving us every time we hand him the ball. Can we just see what Dalvin can do? People
right, because it can't get the idea that it can't get worse.
Yeah.
Thank you, Seaback. Yay, he turns 3 tomorrow.
What's so funny, Sam? It was just before I got in here. I was like, I haven't talked to Sam in just a little bit. I'm wondering. I had a thought about. I would ask when Everett's birthday was. It's tomorrow.
Yep, 11:52 p.m. But we're celebrating all week. My poor baby, or my happy baby, gets what every wants. Actually, I don't know if you can see it. Right behind me, we have a full big car rug that he got early, and I can't wait for him to open his presents. And then Monday, he starts preschool.
Oh, what?
Oh,
I don't want that, but I'm so excited for him. With his speech problems, it'll be good for him. Being around kids that can't talk.
His birthday is on
tomorrow. She said
tomorrow,
the 16th.
Yep.
Kimmy's is on the 8th.
This guy.
No way! Yeah. That's awesome. See, he was supposed to be born November 20th, but
early.
Wait to be here, right?
That's right.
All right, guys.
Hey, positivity into the bye week. What we have to deal with is Jerry.
We're gonna get all these, this new stuff all set up so we can go full-fledged for you next week.
Yes.
And we're just we'll probably continue this. We'll have a lot of this, a lot of the what ifs and what's coming in the future next week during the bye week.
Yeah, for sure.
And we'll see you the day after Everett starts preschool, apparently.
Oh boy, that's gonna be fun.
Speaking of the little guy,
we'll get an update.
A late cameo.
There he is. He said, "I heard you guys in here talking about me." Who's in here talking about me?
Will you say hi? Will you wave? There'll be 3. You're
what?
2 right now.
What?
2. What about 3?
Wow.
Not the 4. Don't do that.
Member of the Star We Are, officially the littlest star we are.
2. Will you say bye? Bye.
Later, buddy.
Perfect.
All right, and we were gonna say bye to you guys. And just like Landry said, really quick update. We're back full-fledged, so we will have a fully produced show next week. Segments, a little game. We're gonna have some fun, so stick around. We got Jane Slater coming back mid-November. We've hopefully got a couple players lined up before the season's over, so make sure you stick around with us every Tuesday, 6 p.m. AM Mayhem is getting moved to Monday at 10 a.m. So with this being the bye week, I'm not sure if it'll start this Monday with the bye week, but it may.
Nope.
If not, for sure, the following Monday at 10 a.m. will be AM Mayhem with your man Jimmy. Come in and lash out. Tuesdays at 6 p.m. with us right here. If you're here with us, like, subscribe, share it, leave some more comments. We appreciate your time and your support. And we will see you guys next Tuesday. And remember to always, always, always tell them, Sammy.
Fan responsibly. Woo!
Later, guys.
Bye, guys.